Hello, my beautiful people. It's Nadia, and I'm back today to talk about judgment. I want to talk about dealing with judgment on your awakening journey, whether it's judgment from others, you judging others, or even judging yourself. Alrighty, my friends, so let's talk about it. So we just had a full moon, right? And with this full moon, for me, I feel like it brought this nagging feeling back to me about judgment. And it's not so much about judgment from others, a little bit, but most of it is how I judge myself and how I still judge others. Awakening is not fun, okay? And right now in August, there's something interesting going on. Somebody sent me a link from Christina Lopes where she was talking about this portal called the Lion's Gate for August 8th. And it made a lot of sense what she was saying. Now I'm seeing that in August there's something very interesting that's happening, and it makes sense. Last year for me in August was when I started making these videos, so there's something interesting about the month of August. I don't know much about that as far as astrology, but there's definitely something interesting about this month. But the full moon brought about this nagging, this feeling of judgment, about being concerned about judgment, how other people judge me, how I judge myself, and how I judge other people. Now, like I was saying, going through an awakening is not fun. It can be exciting when we learn that we are spiritual beings, and then it opens us up to a new world. It can be very exciting, but it's not always fun, because the untruths start to crumble away. We start to see the truth. We start to see the truth about everything, about ourselves and who we really are. And it's not easy to accept and deal with sometimes. When we judge others, we judge ourselves. And that's something that I don't think a lot of us realize. And we want to stay on the right track. We want to do the right things because we want to manifest good things. But the ego is very tricky. Now, ego isn't all bad. It isn't all bad, but it can be very tricky. And the ego knows that it's bye-bye time. It knows it's about out of there, you know? At least the parts of the ego that don't benefit us. It's about gone. As we start to awaken, it's going away. And it knows that. So it tries to hold on to all of these things that aren't beneficial, and it now gives us new ways of judging people. So now we're not judging people the way we used to. It's a little different now. We don't do it the same. Now it's judging people in a spiritual way. Now people, when they say certain things or we see certain behaviors, it's kind of like, oh, they are just asleep. Like, wake up, like they don't get it. And so in a way, it's like we are looking or seeing ourselves as better than people, at which we are not. So the ego can be very tricky. And this judgment is very harmful to our spiritual growth, and it's harmful to others. It really is. And that's something that we have to really learn to let go of, to catch ourselves. Now, when it comes down to judging other people, the best way to get out of the habit of judging others is by understanding them. Now, when you have someone who's constantly putting people down, talking bad about people, judging, just spewing out a bunch of hateful things and hurtful things about people, realize that this is how they feel about themselves. They may not know it, but this is how they feel about themselves. Now, if you take everything that they're saying and you spin that around to them talking like that about themselves, isn't that painful to watch? That's painful to see. So when you're able to look at it like that, you're able to sympathize with them more. And people don't know. A lot of people don't know that this is how they feel about themselves. That's the reason why they're doing it. That's how they feel about themselves. They don't know it because of the ego. Once again, the ego likes to make other people be wrong so it can be right. So when you're able to see that about people, you're able to sympathize, and when you understand them, it can help you to get over the judging of people. You understand them more, and then there's less judgment coming from you. You can sympathize more. You can come from a place of love more, love and understanding. Now, when it comes down to other people judging you, acceptance. That's it. That's the only thing you can do. Accept the fact that people are going to judge you. I mean, whether they label you as a good person, a bad person, they're still going to judge you. You will be judged by people. And guess what? Life goes on. So just accept the fact that you're going to be judged regardless, and life goes on. That's why I was afraid to create this channel, because of judgment, afraid of people judging me. People are going to think I'm crazy or whatever the case might be. But I started to awaken so that I didn't join the world of fear. Now with this channel, I have met so many people that are just like me in so many ways. Thank you to all of you. I've met people just like me. And like I said, awakening helped me to leave this world, the world of fear. Now I'm not living in fear. I'm pretty sure if I had not started to go through an awakening last year, I'd probably be in fear, like a lot of people are in fear now with the pandemic and everything. That is why our vibration is higher. We awaken so our vibration will rise higher, and now we are not living in a world of fear. We're not affected by what's going on in the world. We are at peace. So I'll take that. I'll take that, and I'll take the judgment. Bring it on. Bring on the judgment, because I'm going to take it in, and I'm going to transform it and send out love. That's it. So just accept it. Accept that people are going to judge you, and life goes on. Now, when it comes down to judging yourself, allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to feel that you are judging yourself and what the reason is that you're judging yourself. Shine a light on it. Go right ahead. Because the only way that you can get out of it is by going through it. Okay, there's no resistance, so now you can respond to it instead of reacting to it. Okay, you're not perfect, but our greatness doesn't stem from us being perfect. Our greatness doesn't come from us doing everything right in life. So accept it. Accept it. Don't resist it. That way you can respond to it instead of reacting to it. And that's that. That's that. Now, I want to share something that happened to me yesterday at work. So lately I've been feeling kind of like I don't like being at work because of the fear. Everybody with the pandemic and how everybody's acting, it just kind of like I've been thinking I don't want to be in that environment. Like, what should I do? Should I look for something else for work? Like, I've been feeling like I don't want to be there. So what I told myself is that I'm just going to start kind of staying to myself, which is hard for me to do. I like to talk and communicate and joke around with people. You know, makes it a nice day. But I just said I'm going to just start to kind of like stay to myself. That's what I said. So I go to work yesterday, minding my own business. I have a co-worker. She's from Russia. She showed me on her phone. She was like, I'm reading this thing about this George Floyd, about this guy. And I'm like, okay. And she says, this guy, he was on drugs. He was a criminal, and they're making him like saint. Now I'm like, why are you doing this to me today, universe? Why are you doing this? I said I was gonna mind my own business, stay to myself. Why are you doing this to me? So didn't get mad. I didn't, react. I said, who said that he was a saint? I said, I haven't heard anybody say that he was a saint. And she said, no, they're making him like saint. And I said, how are they making him like a saint? Because they're standing up for him, and they're saying that what was done is wrong. Is that how they're making him a saint? I said, so is it okay? Is it okay that they killed him because he had a criminal history, or he had drugs, or he used drugs? Is it okay? And she was quiet. She didn't say anything. And I said, people, it's wrong what was done to him. That's the point that people are talking about. That's the issue. And then she says, I know this happens to lots of black people, but it's all life matter. Why are you doing this to me today? Why are you doing this to me today? So I just stayed calm. And I said, the statement that people say when they say Black Lives Matter, that statement is not to say that black lives are the only lives that matter. I know we have said this a million times, but I'm just thinking that statement doesn't mean that black lives are the only lives that matter. It just means that it seems as though black lives doesn't matter. I said, his situation is not the only situation. There's lots of situations that's even, how bad can it get? There's like so many situations. I said his criminal history or whatever, he had a record, like that actually has nothing to do with the fact that he was killed in the street. And then as I'm breaking it down and explaining why people are up in arms, here she goes. Nadia, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't feel good. Like, you brought it up. You brought it up. And now when I'm explaining it to you without yelling or like how some people would have snapped on you, I'm not doing that. But I don't want to talk about it. You brought it up. Okay. So I just told her, okay. And then she left to go about her business, and now I have to go massage somebody while my blood is boiling a little bit, But I didn't yell, I stayed calm and everything, I was cool. So I go to do a massage, and and a calm came over me. I don't know, it's because I have my rose quartz, my love crystal, but a calm came over me, and I just kind of laughed, and I was just like, you're testing me. It was a test. You're trying to see how I'm going to react, or either you're trying to make me leave this job. You're trying to push me out of here and have me look in another direction. Something's going on, but you're testing me. And I was cool after that. I had to go through a few more hours of the day, but I was fine. And I didn't trip, but I noticed her energy was a little. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe she is now thinking, maybe she's going to think about what she said and realize how talking about this guy, criminal record or whatever, that was just irrelevant, right? And so I was over it. I was fine. But when I got home, I started to feel a little emotional again. Just thinking, I'm just like, what's wrong with people? Like, what is wrong with people? Like, how do we just go past the fact that the man was murdered in the street and suffocated? How do we move past that to start talking about a criminal record or him using drugs? I mean, in a world full of criminals, rich criminals that have a lot of money, that use drugs, that this will never happen to. We got criminals in the government. There's criminals everywhere. He's just not a rich criminal. But I just didn't I'm just like, what's wrong with people? I was just like, just got emotional. Like, what is wrong with people? So there was me. I was starting to judge again. But I just said to myself, hopefully, as I said what I said to her, because I didn't say it aggressively, but obviously she got uncomfortable because maybe she thought about what she was saying, but maybe that will help. Maybe she'll think, about what she said. Maybe. And that was what was on my mind. And it always seems like stuff like this happens whenever I'm gonna make a video about something. Something happens to go right along with it, like to kind of like, it's like I'm being divinely guided and tested in many different ways. But I let it go. The funny thing was when it happened, and I was in the room after I went to go do a massage after the whole incident with her, I didn't even have the energy to judge her. I didn't have the energy to judge her. All I could think about was how I was feeling, which was like shaken up, you know? Because it's just to be close to people who thinks that way, it just kind of like, just shakes you up a little bit, you know? But I got past it, and hopefully this, what I said to her will kind of like make her think twice before she says something like that again. Hopefully. But that's it, guys. That's it for this video. I want to thank you all. I've been seeing your comments, and some of you share such amazing things with me that happens to you. And it's just like, oh my God, some of the symptoms you've had, your astral travel experiences, the stuff that you've been seeing, like, and hearing voices. It's just like, I'm just amazed at how it's happening to many of you all. Amazed. And I want to send you all love and light and blessings on your journey. Thank you for sharing with me. Thank you for watching my videos. And I'll see you all soon. Peace and blessings.